That might be fun.
Okay. Walking through the video, we switch things up a little bit, see if this works out for us.
Yay! New angle.
Yep. So here's the Bigfoot hat. It's orange. It's got a Bigfoot embroidered on it. You can see most of that shelf over there with some things.
You've got your hats.
That hat. This just barely is in the video. I was looking over that, but this is my green. Believe Bigfoot.
You can see the many eyes for anniversary.
10 years.
In July.
July 15th, 10 years since I busted my eye out. The hat says believe. You may not believe in Bigfoot, but Bigfoot believes in you.
I'm pretty sure I saw a shirt like that, but it was aliens. Or was it a poster?
I know I made some on a TeePublic. I think that's what I had. Now it's Dashery. I don't know. We should make a merch store. That would be cool. Make sure you're talking into the mic, buddy. Get a little critique from your mother. She's been watching the videos. Because I've been posting the intros, clips of the intros, or intro clips, whatever. First minute of the show, when you ask the question, like I ask you to ask what the question is, and then just 1 minute of that. But I've been posting those on our TikTok.
Yes.
One daily at least. And when it gets caught up, we'll figure something else to do. Right now, as of recording right now, there's 7 of them. And when this drops, I'll work on the 8th episode. Only 1 minute long. That link is not in our linktree.com/BOTQS yet, but our TikTok is Bring on the Qs. So bring on the QS.
Bring on the Qs.
Yep, that's what it is on TikTok. Because Bring on the Questions was too long for TikTok. And I didn't want to just shorten it completely to bot Qs. Right? So bring on the Qs. That's what it is on TikTok. And after that, I guess we could do it anytime. But we'll just continue putting the intro clips on. Maybe we'll do longer than 1 minute. Because it's 1 minute from the time I say, so Miss Foennix, what question are we going to ask in this episode? It's 1 minute from that point, which isn't a lot. And on TikTok, you can do up to 10 minutes for some accounts, I guess.
Yeah. I think you can even go 20 minutes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's what YouTube is for. All 85 minutes of our episode. I think that's one of our longest episodes, 85 minutes. Something like that. Anyway, that's all on YouTube. And the audio can be found on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And look at that segue. Where are all those links?
Linktree.com/BOTQS.
Yep. This one is a little lengthy, so we better start getting into it.
Yes.
So, what?
Earlier, while I was cleaning my room, doing my bed, Mom asked, what is the difference between a warlock and a wizard? Because I have my Harry Potter Hogwarts shirt.
Did you dig into it?
A little.
Okay.
Because
So, Miss Foennix, what question are we bringing in this episode?
What is witchcraft?
Okay. So that's why you're talking about the witch, Harry Potter stuff. Okay. Witch, wizard, warlock. What do you got?
Well, wizard. A witch, I haven't really talked about. I didn't really look up. But between wizards and warlocks, warlocks more so make deals with like entities and spirits to get their magical powers.
Okay.
And wizards study and master to get their magical powers.
Do they call on any kind of energies? Like natural energy? Like you pull the energy from said oak tree to perform this fireball?
I think that's what warlocks do.
Evil. So where does a wizard get just innate energies out of them?
Like they study.
Okay.
And it's in their brain, and then they master the study and the art.
Like muscle.
I don't know what that is.
Like a muscle. Like
yeah.
So it's like a fireball muscle.
Yeah, or like
a scrying muscle. You know what scrying is? Mm-hmm. Like a locator spell. I had this weird thought in my head. We might even skip some of these notes because there's a lot of them for this, but something just changed.
The lights flickered.
That's weird.
Well, this house is old. And it's been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah. Anyway. I do field work and I go out with survey department, and those guys use a base. So they put up a base to call the satellites so that it knows where the base is. So this base is located at these exact coordinates. And then they take a roving head unit so that they can go to an exact spot and be like, this is the spot where we want the thing. Don't go outside of these boundaries. So here's this spot, and here's this one, and here's this one. So here's that border. Don't go across that one. It's a limit of disturbance, they call it. Then 50 feet across that is another one. 50, 60, 90, 100, whatever it is. So don't go past this one. Don't go past this one. Stay in this lane. And I don't know. Just watching these guys work, watching that guy work one day, I'm like a wizard. He's got a wizard staff. He's basically using the satellite as he's using the rover thing as a locator staff to find exactly where the thing is. This dude's a wizard. Sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Who said that? Sir Arthur Conan Doyle? I think so. But that's a quote from one famous author. Want to hear that again?
Sure.
Sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. So, what we're using here, I got my laptop, you got your iPad, we're recording on my phone.
With your ring light.
Yeah. 50 years ago, it will be like, what? iPad? What? You can carry your phone with you?
What's a phone?
I know what a phone was 50 years ago, but it was locked down. It was at home or a payphone down the street.
Yeah.
It wasn't going anywhere else.
People in the 1800s, they would be burning us at the stake.
Yep. Total witchcraft.
Yeah.
Good segue. Shall we get going?
Yeah.
The term witchcraft is a broad and multifaceted concept encompassing a wide variety of practices that have been performed across diverse cultures and millennia. At its core, witchcraft refers to the belief in individuals who can manipulate the natural world through magical means. This manipulation is often understood as a person or group's effort to change their life through new supernatural means, which is the general definition of magic within this context.
And a witch's group is called her coven.
Yes.
Her sisters.
Why just her? Can there be male witches?
Well, I think male witches are warlocks, not so much wizards. Because witches are sorcerers and sorceress.
Wow. Let's just straight up Google what is the difference between witch, wizard, warlock, sorcerer, sorcerer,
and sorceress.
and sorceress. Google's Gemini says the terms witch, wizard, warlock, sorcerer, and sorceress are often used to describe individuals with magical abilities. But their specific meanings can vary depending on the context and fictional settings. Generally, witches and wizards are often depicted as having learned or inherited magical skills, while sorcerers and warlocks may be portrayed as having innate magical powers or have gained them through pacts or other means. Similar to what you were saying earlier. Let's just pick this here. Historically, the term witch has carried negative connotations, sometimes implying a connection to evil or dark magic, but modern fantasy often portrays witches in a more neutral or even positive light. I think we're echoing. A wizard is typically a male magic user, often depicted as learned and scholarly with a strong command of magical theory and spells. Wizards are often portrayed as having acquired their magical abilities through study and training. The term warlock is often used to describe a male witch, or sorcerer, but it can also imply a more sinister or dark magic user. Some portrayals suggest warlocks gain their power through a pact with a supernatural entity like a demon or god. That's what you said. In some contexts, warlock is used as a derogatory term for someone who has betrayed their magical tradition. A sorcerer or sorceress is a magic user whose powers are often portrayed as innate or inherited rather than learned. Your blood. They may have a natural affinity for magic or a bloodline that grants them magical abilities. The term can be used interchangeably with wizard in some contexts, but sorcerers are often depicted as having raw, untamed power.
So, sorcerer/sorceress is like a full blood?
That's what it seems to be, like the Malfoys.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Is it full blood? Not mudblood or
pure blood?
Pure blood. But then wizards would be more like mudblood.
Mudblood. A non-magical family who learned into the magics. The scholar of it. Okie dokie. Better keep going. This is about witches.
Well, the art of witchcraft.
Oh yeah, sure. It's darker in the next episode. Cross cultures?
I was seeing what the next one was. Across cultures, two fundamental principles of magic are commonly identified. The first is imitative magic, also known as sympathetic magic, which operates on the principle that like produces like. Like produces like. A common example of this is seen in voodoo, where dolls, images, or drawings are created to perform magical influence. The second principle is contagious magic, which posits that things once in contact can continue to influence each other even after the physical connection is broken. This form of magic often utilizes items believed to possess an essence of an individual, such as a lock of hair, an article of clothing, or other personal effects.
Interesting. Beyond these principles, witchcraft also includes the practice of divination, a magical procedure or ritual designed to uncover information not accessible through ordinary means, such as foretelling the future by interpreting omens. Familiar forms of divination in society include tarot card readings, tea leaf reading, and bibliomancy, the use of books to answer questions. Bibliomancy is crazy. Like numerology. It's in bibliomancy or numerology. Well, that's something we should get into. Check it out. Numerology or bibliomancy. Last pod, nope. Stuff they don't want you to know. Those guys did a real quick segment on bibliomancy. We'll check it out later. Other methods can involve interpreting the entrails of animals, casting stones/runes, or observing the movements and actions of animals or other natural events.
So, I forget what I was going to say. Back on the cross cultures paragraph, imitative
yeah,
magic reminds me kinda of in the show Agatha All Along on Disney Plus of Wanda's son,
Billy, and wow. Yep. I don't know. Wiccan. Well, okay, that's their Wiccan and Speed are their
powers. Wiccan is
Billy Camplin.
Tommy
he's the future speedster, right?
Yeah.
Billy's the magic user. Tommy's the speedster.
Yeah. Billy. It reminds me of Billy when he created a little bit of spoilers. When he created the Witch's Road. Like they did the ritual so Agatha could get powers back by stealing the other witch's powers. One of them wasn't an actual witch, but she just gardened, so I guess it counted. But Billy created it with his mind.
Because he's that powerful.
Yeah.
But is that imitative? Like he wasn't imitating anybody. He had just created it whole cloth from nothing. He wasn't imitating anybody.
Well, it kind of was imitative because
he was influenced.
Yeah, by his room. Like when he at the end, when he's back in his room, he looks at all the things, and we see that it was that the Witch's Road was based off of in his mind. So he was influenced.
Subliminally.
Subconsciously.
That's a fun word. Very good, very good. So that's a fun movie or a show to watch for the witchery stuff.
I might have to rewatch it. I get you. I think I've watched it twice already.
Love the Doctor Strange movies too.
And more general? A more general dictionary definition describes witchcraft as the art or exercise of magical powers, the effect or influence of magical powers, or an alluring or seductive charm or influence. However, it is important to recognize that the definition of witchcraft is highly variable and often contested, depending on the cultural, historical, or religious lens through which it is viewed. For instance, some perspectives, particularly those rooted in certain Christian theological frameworks, describe witchcraft as the universal primeval religion of fallen humanity, intrinsically linked to the worship of Satan and driven by a desire for control, often in opposition to the Christian Church. Conversely, academic and anthropological perspectives tend to view it as a broader term encompassing diverse practices of manipulating the natural world, including ancient religions and spiritual customs. This inherent variability in defining witchcraft underscores that it is not a singular monolithic phenomenon, but rather a spectrum of beliefs and practices interpreted through distinct cultural and historical frameworks.
Yep. And regular people mess it up.
I usually think of witchcraft as, like, more so, like, natural things. Like, spirit, like, how do I put this?
I don't know. How?
Like, taking other natural things and making, like, offerings with people, like, spirits who are not in this plane of existence,
okay,
but in another plane, which they simultaneously live with us in this plane, and you make offerings and they in turn give you, like, wisdom and stuff, or like manipulating different herbs and stuff to make ointments and heals and all that. More natural world stuff.
Yeah, so holistic doctors is borderline witchcraft from your explanation. So they use all the natural things, like they make a basil tea. I think we even talked about that in the last episode, or a peppermint tea, but they are making these things, or some kind of tincture, which involves alcohol. Not fermenting of it, but drawing out all the qualities of the herbs for whatever. Like you're drawing out. Honestly, I don't know what anything does. This is just a total out there example, but drawing out the effects in, say, basil tea to lower blood pressure. And sounds magical to me.
Herbal doctors.
Right. Magicians. Witches. Practitioners of the occult arts. For much of human history, the practices now commonly categorized as witchcraft were simply the accepted religious and spiritual customs of various peoples, not explicitly labeled with the term itself. The contemporary understanding of witchcraft carries diverse connotations, ranging from its association with New Age, earth-based, or goddess-worshipping spiritualities to its perception as something inherently evil and dark. It's crucial to note that both of these contrasting perspectives are largely Eurocentric, reflecting a historical trajectory rooted in European thought and belief systems. Even the term witchcraft itself is derived from the Celtic word Wicca. Interesting, right? Meaning wise one, suggesting an original connotation of wisdom or spiritual knowledge.
Yeah. Another bit that I think when I think of witchcraft is, like, rituals and, like, offerings to different gods and goddesses. Like, whatever gods and goddesses, like Aphrodite, example, for beauty.
Sure.
Like, you offer for beauty in return.
And that could come at a price. Well, I guess your offering is the price.
Yeah.
But it could be as simple as having a regular routine of appreciating nature as it is. And it's almost like there's so many people that got mad over that. People have a specific daily, called a ritual, but ritual sounds more religious or more, I don't know. It seems like saying the word ritual is almost has a little bit of a taboo, like the satanic panic, which we'll get into that at some point in the future. But just waking up and appreciating the sunrise, and appreciating a nice breeze, or appreciating your tea that you made to watch the sunrise.
Yeah.
Witches.
Or appreciating your warm house.
Right. Witches. Appreciating everything. Comes naturally.
Gotta burn them. Burn at the stake.
Hold on, that's later.
In many societies, witchcraft has functioned primarily as an accusation, a cultural mechanism employed to punish individuals who deviate from societal norms or expectations. We'll get into that more. This accusatory function serves to prevent antisocial behavior as seen in historical instances where individuals who challenge social conventions might be publicly labeled a witch to control their conduct. Within Christian societies, this accusatory framework often equated witchcraft with sorcery, defining it as the practice of utilizing supernatural forces for malevolent purposes, a crime against God, or a form of devil worship. This historical linkage was instrumental in labeling ancient European pagan religions as witchcraft during the widespread efforts to convert Europe to Christianity. A little about that, and not getting into other, but going against the Bible, like when I learned about the scientists in like astrology and stuff, when the first scientist to go against what starts with an A, Apostle, said about Earth being the center of the system, and then the sun and moon and other planets rotate around the Earth. The first one to go against that was jailed, or set to be jailed, but died before that.
So someone who spoke out against the rest of the society, essentially.
Yeah.
Spoke out against leadership, told leadership that they were wrong and they need to rethink their thoughts. Leadership don't like when people say that. You know, we're being quiet right now. We're not supposed to have quiet moments during a podcast, Foennix. Should have had all of this ready to go.
Well, I didn't think about it.
Thinking about things in the moment. Galileo.
Aristotle, not Apostle.
That guy.
It was not Galileo.
All right.
Galileo was after him.
Aristotle. That is
Nicholas Copernicus.
All right. Pick one.
Well, it's not. It's not Galileo.
And it's not Aristotle.
No, Aristotle was the one who wrote that Earth is center. Sun and moon and other planets.
That moron.
Well, what else was he supposed to do? He wrote a Bible and no one went against the Bible. Mm-hmm. You don't go against the Bible.
No. That's crazy.
So Nicholas, I think, wrote in his diaries about like his theory idea that Earth is not centered, but the sun is centered.
The madman.
Not the geocentric, but the heliocentric.
Mm-hmm. Absolute madman. Going against the church and state.
But then Galileo, I think, looked at his diaries and was like, I can prove this theory.
Copernicus is onto something.
I can prove this theory. And then eventually, in some turn, one of them thought of the geoheliocentric.
Wow, that's too many centrics. You can have both.
I think it was or helio-geo? No, geo-helio.
Yeah, both. It'd be an out-of-control solar system. Alright, you hunt that down. I'm going to read the next part. The evolution of the term witchcraft from potentially neutral or even revered concepts such as wise one to a pejorative, fear-inducing label, and subsequently to a reappropriated term of empowerment in modern contexts vividly illustrates a profound societal transformation in how otherness and nonconformity are perceived and controlled. What do you got?
Geohelio is sun and moon revolve around the Earth, but then all the other planets revolve around the sun.
Well, that's a chaotic solar system.
Yeah, everything would be colliding, crash, boom, no more solar, whatever system.
No.
But with modern science and technology, we do know.
I've been told what to think.
Don't give me an existential crisis like that.
We've been told what to think. Anyway, profound societal transformation, how otherness is nonconformity are perceived and controlled. This trajectory highlights how language and labels are dynamically weaponized or reclaimed based on prevailing power structures and cultural values. Initially, spiritual practices were simply part of human experience. However, with Christianization, these practices were often demonized, serving as a tool for social control and the suppression of competing belief systems. In more recent times, there has been a conscious reappropriation of the term, particularly with feminist and modern pagan movements, transforming it into a symbol of empowerment and resistance. This demonstrates the dynamic interplay between belief systems and the mechanisms of social control, where the meaning of a term can be fundamentally altered over time to reflect changing cultural values and power dynamics.
Belief in witchcraft, particularly as a malevolent force, is deeply asserted in ancient history, with evidence tracing back to ancient Mesopotamia. In Europe, the concept of witches can be traced to classical antiquity, a period when magic and religion were often closely intertwined. Ancient Rome, for instance, had laws specifically against harmful magic, known as
Beneficium.
Mm-hmm. Which encompassed both poisoning and magical harm. Roman literature from the 1st century BCE onward frequently depicted witch characters as powerful, evil women, often portrayed as hags who used harmful incantations, created poisonous potions, sacrificed children, raised the dead, controlled nature, shapeshifted, and invoked underworld deities.
Wicked Witch of the West. I'll get you, my pretties. And your little dog, too.
I don't know that.
That's the OG Wizard of Oz movie. Yeah. I wanted to watch it. It used to come on every fall when I was a kid. I wanted to watch it. In stark contrast to these perceptions, ancient Egypt held a remarkably different view of magic and its practitioners. Magic, or Heka, was considered a fundamental cosmic force, deeply integrated into the fabric of daily life, medicine, religious rituals, and funerary practices. Practitioners, including priests, magicians, and wise women, were generally regarded with reverence and seen as essential for solving various societal problems. For example, lector priests were responsible for protecting rulers and guiding the dead, while healing priests worked to ward off illness. Magic was believed to be a divine force that brought harmony to the universe and was used to sustain cosmic order, heal illnesses, protect daily life, and guide souls in the afterlife. Harmful magic was generally not attributed to Egyptians practicing against their own community. Instead, it was believed to be practiced primarily by foreigners or directed against enemies of the state. See, Egypt welcomed it. Egypt practiced it on purpose.
Egypt didn't mind witchcraft.
No, they used it. Healing stuff. You're gonna guide the dead? Cool, I'll go over here and help the living.
Yeah. The contrasting views of witchcraft in ancient Egypt, where it was revered, integrated into society, and associated with divine order, versus ancient Mesopotamia and classical Europe, where it was predominantly seen as malevolent and subject to legal
Prohibitions.
Prohibitions reveal that the inherent evil association with witchcraft is not a universal truth, but rather a culturally and historically constructed phenomenon. This divergence in perception often correlates with societal control mechanisms,
xenophobia,
and the
delineation
of insider versus outsider practices. The Egyptian model illustrates how magical practices can be deeply embedded within the dominant religious and social culture. Social structure, serving beneficial functions, whereas the Mesopotamian and European examples demonstrate how such practices can be demonized and legislated against to maintain social order or to attribute misfortune to an externalized other.
Us versus them. Typical. A war start. Following the Christianization of Europe, the medieval Catholic Church began to redefine witchcraft, maleficium, as a dangerous blend of black magic and apostasy, fundamentally involving a pact with the devil. Witches were believed to have renounced Christ, the sacraments, and salvation, instead performing blasphemous black masses and forging covenants with the devil to acquire sorcerer's powers. Whew. Crazy. This theological reinterpretation solidified the image of the witch as an inherently evil figure. The concept of the witch's Sabbath, alleged nocturnal gatherings where witches engaged in black magic and transgressed social norms through acts like cannibalism, incest, and open nudity, further cemented this malevolent perception. Ladies out there in the woods dancing naked
and eating each other.
And out of control. Someone's got to burn.
It's the Hunger Games out there.
I'm straying into some Wendigo territory if we're getting too hungry for each other.
Yeah. Another reference I want to make. Anyone else knows Sam and Colby? I watch a lot of, investigations of haunted places by many different people. And one of them I watched with Sam, and it was Sam and Colby, and I think it was the Farrar School, which they bought so it wouldn't be, demolished.
Okay.
So they did, they have a 7-day week that they either go to multiple places or they stay in one place for 7 days. And for our school, they stayed for 7 days. And sometimes they brought, special guests. But one time they brought the pagan priestess.
Okay.
She name kind of explains itself, but in one of them there was a portal in the boiler room of the basement, or not really basement, of this school, the boiler room, and so there was a demonic presence there, and it was because they were doing challenges, they wrote each other a challenge on a note card, and so they Sam gave Colby the challenge to be hogtied in the boiler room. So, while he was getting hogtied, after, Colby could feel that he could feel that demonic presence attaching to him.
Okay.
So, pagan priestess, she immediately got to work on that. She, blessed him, and they took that demonic presence, they sealed it in a different thing, they captured it, and then at the end, they threw it into the river so that the water spirits could deal with it.
Passing the buck.
Yeah.
Delegating somebody else to deal with it.
Yeah, because the water spirits, I'm pretty sure, are much more, like, powerful, and they can demolish or...
neutralize.
Yeah, neutralize more powerful demonic entities rather than regular other spirits that were humans but have passed on, but not fully passed on.
I see. Got a lot going on with this episode, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm looking her up.
Alright, we should read some more. Read that one. The contrasting views of witchcraft in ancient Egypt, where it was revealed. Oh, did we read that? Yes. A pivotal text that significantly shaped the European witch hunts was the Malleus Maleficarum, Hammer Against the Witches, published in 1486 by Heinrich Kramer. This treatise became an influential handbook for secular courts, providing a detailed framework for identifying, prosecuting, and punishing witches, and notably emphasized women's inherent susceptibility to the devil's influence. During the early modern period, specifically the 16th to 17th centuries, witch hunts became widespread across Europe, fueled by a complex interplay of religious tensions, pervasive societal anxieties, and economic upheaval. These trials resulted in tens of thousands of executions and countless prosecutions.
Not pagan priestess, it's Pythian priestess.
Pythian.
So she captured demonic entity and threw it into the river and let the water spirits deal with that.
Couldn't deal with it herself. Let somebody else visualize it.
She's not powerful enough. Natural spirits are pretty powerful.
Accusations.
Accusations of witchcraft typically originated from neighbors and often stemmed from pre-existing social tensions within communities. The majority of those accused were women, often elderly or marginalized individuals, while common folk, even Christians, often distinguished between helpful magic practiced by cunning folk or wise people and harmful magic, witchcraft, was specifically condemned as evil. The European belief in witchcraft gradually diminished during and after the Age of Enlightenment, leading to the formal cessation of witch trials and the enactment of laws that punish the pretense of witchcraft rather than its actual practice.
We will definitely get into that in the next episode.
Other than burning at the stake, there was one color guard show that we saw, and it was if you were a witch, that you would survive after being thrown in the river. Mm-hmm. But if you were human, then you would just sink to the bottom and clock out.
Permanently. There's no logic there.
I think if you knew how to swim and you were a woman, you're a witch. Witch.
Burn her. There was some mashing too. People got mashed. Like, there was a guy that they accused of. We'll get into it in the next episode. The historical progression from localized magical practices to widespread religiously sanctioned witch hunts in Europe illustrates how institutional power Both the church and secular courts can appropriate and redefine existing folk beliefs to consolidate authority, suppress perceived dissent, and create convenient scapegoats during periods of social and economic instability. The Malleus Maleficarum served as a critical, ideological, and procedural instrument in standardizing and intensifying this persecution. This indicates that the evil definition of witchcraft was not an organic development, but a deliberate theological and legal construct systematically employed as a mechanism of social control and to eliminate perceived threats to the dominant religious and political order. The fact that accusations frequently arose from interpersonal conflicts among neighbors further underscores the role of social tensions and the need for scapegoats in this societal phenomenon. You know what the term scapegoat means?
Kinda.
Basically a person to blame.
Yeah.
And they're an easy target to blame because the majority of others are against them, or it's just, well, of course, that's the person that would do it.
Yeah.
Of course, that's the thing that happened because of that thing.
The obvious guilty.
Yeah, the easy answer.
Yeah. Easy way out. When you said mash, like they mash, I thought of, is that how they got the monster mash?
No, I'm pretty sure that came a lot time after.
Fine.
Yeah. The monster mash.
Was it graveyard smash?
I don't think that song means what we think it means. I think there's some hidden meaning in that song.
Probably. Maybe it involves witch mashing.
Maybe. But I think that song came hundreds of years after.
It did, but it's a fun little reference.
I guess. Monster mash.
Now let's talk about grimoires.
Yes.
A grimoire is fundamentally a personal record that documents an individual's spiritual practices, magical or mystical knowledge, and personal reflections. While it is most commonly associated with witchcraft, its use is not exclusively tied to any specific belief system. Therefore, individuals who do not identify as witches may still maintain a grimoire to organize their thoughts, track personal growth, and explore spiritual practices that resonate with them.
Sounds like a journal to me.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is that just a fancy word for a journal?
It's a journal for people who babysit herbs. They draw pictures of herbs in their journal. It's called a grimoire.
Maybe they take their herbs and their flowers into their journal.
Yeah.
Or even, you want to call it a diary.
A diary? Way more special than a diary.
It still talks about personal things.
It does. You're right. Personal things, herbs, bunch of things. Not just your diary, when I farted today, something else came out too.
Okay.
Personal. Historically, grimoires were collections of magical knowledge, often kept secret within specific groups or passed down through generations. There you go. It can't be a journal or a diary because it's not specifically personal.
It's passed down.
A recipe book. These ancient texts contained a wide array of information, from instructions for summoning spirits to detailed descriptions of the properties of various herbs and stones. Regrettably, many of the earliest magic books were lost throughout history, partly due to the Christian persecution of those who owned such texts and the widespread destruction during witch hunts. The term grimoire itself originated from the French word grammaire, meaning grammar, and was often used to describe books written in Latin or anything considered challenging to understand.
Grammar's hard.
I guess. Unless the people who had the grimoires that were passing the knowledge down wrote it in such a way that it it was misunderstood by the powers that be.
So grimoires are basically misunderstood generational personal cookbooks.
Wow. Very simplified.
People who need it.
Your ancestors would not be proud.
I need to simplify it for the other people.
Could be. Go ahead.
Everyone understands it. In contemporary practice, grimoires have evolved significantly. Modern grimoires can exist in various forms, including traditional written formats such as leather-bound books or handmade journals, as well as digital formats like Google Docs or Notion. Google Docs. But I'm on.
We're both on Google Docs.
Yeah.
You want a grimoire? Want a folder called a grimoire? Or do you want a Google Doc? It says grimoire.
I don't know. This evolution from purely functional magic books into more This evolution from purely functional magic books into more personal documents reflects the individual witch's unique beliefs and practices. The transformation of the grimoire from a secret, often esoteric, and physically transmitted text, historically vulnerable to destruction, to a personalized, potentially digital record reflects a broader trend in modern spirituality towards individualization, accessibility, and the self-curation of knowledge. This shift moves away from rigid, institutionalized practices and provides a more resilient means of safeguarding spiritual information.
Yeah, it's not institutionalized. It's not this hard, rigid, do this thing on this day, blah, blah, blah. Like, go to church and worship the God every Sunday.
And sometimes other days.
Wednesdays? Ash Wednesday?
Forget about Eve. Christmas Eve. People who celebrate Christmas.
Easter Monday? But they don't go to church. Right. Anyway, good call. Grimoires are considered essential tools for many modern witches, primarily for their utility in maintaining detailed records of spells and their outcomes, which helps in refining magical techniques over time. Yes. A little spice in that concoction.
Put some paprika in that soup.
Paprika, that's how they turn red.
Paprika in that chicken noodle soup.
Ooh, now you're talking. The contents of a grimoire are highly diverse and comprehensive, extending beyond mere magical recipes to encompass a holistic approach to spiritual practice. And here we go. Common elements frequently found in grimoires include
spells and rituals. These entries typically detail the step-by-step instructions for a spell, the necessary ingredients, optimal timing, and the intended outcome. Practitioners often include notes on how effective a spell was and any adjustments they might consider for future attempts.
Nice. Herbal and crystal lore. Information on the magical properties of various herbs, crystals, and other natural elements is often included, detailing how these items can be used in spells, healing practices, or other rituals.
And yeah, a lot of crystal stores, like stores that you go into with crystals, will be like, this crystal helps with good dreams.
Amethyst.
That's the one that helps with good dreams?
Lapis lazuli.
Rose quartz. That's a very popular one. I see rose quartz about in every single one.
Yep.
I've even seen it in Five Below.
That's where it gets a little hinky for me.
Yeah.
Like, how special could this rose quartz be if it's being sold in Five Below?
Maybe they just want to be trendy and have multiple types of customers.
Very good. That's fine. But is it just a generic rose quartz? Like, you get a little bit of the properties out of it? Not the name brand rose quartz. It's not from Meredith, the witch, at the store down the road. It's the Five Below mass-produced rose quartz.
Ain't got any spiritual energies infused in it.
Diet energies. It's a generic version.
Yeah.
The Wise brand. Astrological insights?
Astrological insights. Records of moon phases, planetary alignments, and other astrological events are common, with notes on their perceived impact on magical work. Like zodiac signs. I had a phase back when I was like 7. I would go onto like YouTube, and back in like 2020 when everyone was doing like the kind of zodiac sign.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be like Pisces, Scorpio, Gemini, all those types of videos, that TikToks that I would see on YouTube.
Which one are you?
Aquarius.
I'm Scorpio.
Yeah. Isn't Ashan Pisces?
Think so?
Lana is a Leo.
Yep.
Quinn?
Virgo?
Libra.
No, Libra.
And Mom is a Capricorn.
All coming together.
She Capricorn?
We're an eclectic bunch.
She's a more early.
Sagittarius?
Yeah, she's Sag.
We're an eclectic bunch. We're quite the herd. Personal reflections and experiences. This vital component transforms the grimoire from a simple reference tool into a personal guide for one's unique spiritual journey. It often includes symbols that hold personal meaning, and introspective thoughts.
There are apps or like people they will write down their dreams, or there are apps where you can put in what you dreamed and it will tell you why you dreamt that.
Like a dream interpretation.
Like your dreams have meanings.
Digital devilry. Yeah. Well, happening a lot. Witchcraft. Digital devilry. Idolatry. See, that's divination. Oh, no. It's a dream interpretation. It's not divination. That's different. But, oops. Buffed the mic. Huh. That's interesting. Because it'll come up in the next episode, too. We keep teasing it. It's the Salem Witch Trials. We're going to talk about all the stuff about the Salem Witch Trials. But
spoilers.
Dream interpretation was vital on the people that were accusing. Is that not the devil's work? Interpreting dreams? I'll think about that.
I think they just had their power and didn't like women who knew things. So they burnt them, mushed them, drowned them. Women of knowledge.
The accusers were young teenage girls who accused most of the town, who dreamed that these people were doing things to them. We'll get into it. Now,
it sounds like
your mental path has been derailed.
It sounds like I've seen skits where it's like girls and their boyfriends, and it's like, I dreamed that you were cheating on me. Are you cheating on me?
No, idiot. It was a dream. Get over yourself.
And they get angry at the boyfriend for cheating on them in their dream.
That tells me she has insecurities.
Yeah.
She needs to get over.
Dreams have meanings.
Dream interpretation. Divination records. Practitioners often keep a record of their readings from tools like tarot cards or runes, along with interpretations of their outcomes.
Correspondences.
There you go.
Many grimoires feature lists that associate colors, days of the week, deities, and other elements with specific types of magic or intention.
Art and symbols. Illustrations, sigils, magic symbols, or other artistic elements may be included, serving as visual representations of magical work or as meditative tools.
Another, I get that all along.
You know, we have 10 more pages of notes. We're going to skip a bunch of it.
I have too many references. I like witchcraft.
Apparently. Apparently.
I really like to study this type of thing.
And it shows because you are into it.
Yeah, I like my spiritual and like spooky, scary. True crime. Seems like a lot of females are into that.
Yep.
I think it's natural.
We'll get into it, but there is some deeply disturbing things.
But, well, the one who can, like, see the future, she predicts, she's, like, more a fortune teller. At Billy, before he was Billy Maximoff, at his bar mitzvah, because he had Jewish parents, and he was Jewish. So at his bar mitzvah, there was fortune.
How old is his mom?
Before. Because somehow Billy got into the body of other Billy.
It's a mess. You gotta watch the show to figure it out. Yeah. See all that.
But I forget her name. Pretty sure it starts with an A. But she puts a sigil because she sees, like, she does a tarot or finger line reading. Not finger, palm reading. And when he, like, goes out to party after getting the palm reading, he forgets his jacket, and whatever her name is, she sees something, and then she puts she writes a sigil.
Okay.
And puts it in his coat pocket, and then takes it out to give him back his coat, because then he can't say his name, Billy Maximoff. And we don't know his name, because in the beginning it'll just, like, do the sigil on his mouth when he tries to tell anything about himself, because there was a sigil put on him. Until he didn't need that anymore. And you don't know until the end that he's Billy Maximoff. That somehow, when other Billy died in a car crash, like, because he got in a car crash, I think his parents survived. He died, so Billy Maximoff went into that body, and in the end, he manages to get his brother, Tommy. Like, there was another boy who had to die, so he drowned and became Tommy.
It's cool. It's confusing. You have to know the entire WandaVision story.
Yeah.
Before you get into Agatha all along.
It's a good show.
You like it, apparently. Beyond their function as magical documentation, grimoires serve several practical purposes. They enable practitioners to track their progress and learn from their experiences, making the grimoire a tool for self-discovery and improvement. The act of recording spells and the results allows for future reference and the refinement of techniques based on what proved effective or ineffective. Furthermore, the process of writing things down helps to organize thoughts and ideas, clarifying thinking, and deepening one's understanding of their spiritual path. A grimoire also serves as a powerful reminder of intention, helping to focus energy and enhance the effectiveness of spells and rituals. The comprehensive nature of grimoire contents, extending beyond mere spell recipes to include personal reflections, astrological insights, and Notes on Self-Discovery reveals that modern witchcraft is not solely about external magical manipulation. Instead, it is deeply intertwined in internal spiritual growth, self-awareness, and a holistic engagement with the natural and cosmic world.
While the grimoire is widely recognized and valued within witchcraft communities, it is not strictly necessary for an individual to be considered a witch. However, many practitioners find it to be an exceptionally useful, if not essential, tool for their personal practice. The content and style of a grimoire are entirely at the discretion of the individual, meaning that each grimoire is as unique as the witch who created it. The crucial aspect is that the grimoire serves as a sacred space for magical practice, regardless of whether it takes the form of a physical book, such as a leather-bound volume or handmade journal, or a digital format. The non-mandatory nature of grimoires, despite their perceived utility and widespread association with witchcraft, underscores the individualized and adaptable character of modern witchcraft. This approach prioritizes personal resonance and practical application over rigid adherence to tradition or prescribed tools, allowing practitioners the autonomy to shape their spiritual journey in a way that best suits their needs and beliefs.
Speaking of witchcraft, hey, seriously?
We have 2 black cats. Raven likes to pass by here.
She cruises through my office space, our recording space, just to visit.
Yeah.
She's basically on her mascot.
If you've watched our other videos, she will just, and you see the curtain moving, that's Raven.
That's witchcraft.
It's our little witch cat.
Familiar.
Our other one's Stormy. She's long-haired.
Go ahead.
She doesn't pass through here so much.
There's enough notes here. We might turn this witchcraft into 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's getting late. It's currently almost 11 as of recording.
And we've been recording for an hour now, I think.
Probably. Probably because of all my references.
Yep. If you're super into it, it's fine.
Yeah. I think I got into Harry Potter because of the witchcraft essence of it.
Yep. All right, we'll read just a few more lines here, and then we'll probably call it and pick back up. Now we got an extra episode. I don't know what that's going to do for our timeline of events, because we had a plan. That's all right. We'll figure it out.
Could record 2 times this week.
Yeah. We have enough notes done up. Now we can record multiple times. But not 2 episodes in 1 week. Still just 1 episode per week. Maybe.
Maybe we can make an exception because we have this all planned out.
In the early modern period, spanning the 15th, 16th, and 17th centuries, European witch trials were characterized by a stark gender imbalance, with women constituting the vast majority of those accused and subsequently executed for witchcraft. Statistical estimates from various regions highlight disparity. Right? We are in this. Yeah, you read all that. Statistical estimates from various regions highlight this disparity. Women made up approximately 90% of the accused in England and Hungary, over 95% in Switzerland, and 76% in the Holy Roman Empire and parts of France.
However, this trend was not uniform across all of Europe, revealing important regional variations. In Iceland, for instance, women accounted for only 8% of the accused, and lower figures were also observed in Russia, 32%, and Estonia, 40%. In some of these areas, men were more frequently prosecuted for witchcraft. Historically, the definition of a witch often involved individuals believed to have made a pact with the devil to acquire magical power for evil acts. Accusations typically originated at the village level, fueled by existing social tensions among neighbors, with women often accusing other women as frequently as men.
It's a mess. The significant regional variations in the gender of accused witches, such as the stark difference between Iceland and England, challenge a simplistic narrative that frames the witch hunt solely as a war on women. Instead, these variations suggest that local cultural context, specific legal frameworks, prevailing religious interpretations, and the varying influence of texts like the Malleus Maleficarum played complex and diverse roles in shaping the gendered nature of accusations. While misogyny was undoubtedly a powerful underlying factor, the differing proportions across Europe indicate that the phenomenon was not monolithic, rather a multifaceted response to social, economic, and religious pressures, which manifested differently depending on localized conditions.
One more reference. It's a short one. But I have seen this skit many times, and it's a girl, like this woman, and she, plays different characters of her own, just on, little skits of her own channel.
Okay.
And one of these is just two women, and and the one's child. This is the one I've memorized. There's more. But they are just sitting at their house during witch trial season, and the one is pregnant, and they're a little mixed, intertwined, but the one is where the child accuses the pregnant one to be a witch because she's not actually pregnant.
Okay.
So they just turn on each other. Or like one where her son comes back from war, so she can't make it to the other's dinner party because she has to forage for when her son comes back. So dinner party calls forager witch, and then the men are like, witch!
Women be hating on women. Is that what you're saying?
It's kind of like rumors, but witch trials.
Witch rumors. Disproportionate.
The disproportionate accusation of women during the European witch trials was deeply influenced by prevailing misogynistic views regarding women's temperaments. Influential texts such as Heinrich Kramar's 1487 Malleus Maleficarum explicitly described women as chiefly addicted to evil superstitions. Wow. I wouldn't call it okay.
Yep, okay.
This treatise attributed their supposed susceptibility to the devil's influence to perceived flaws such as greed, a credulous nature, a feeble mind and body, a slippery tongue, jealousy, and an inherently evil disposition. A lot of devil work.
A lot of misogyny.
Yeah.
Furthermore, women suspected of witchcraft were often those in vulnerable social positions, including the poor, elderly, widowed, single, or otherwise unprotected individuals. This suggests a strong correlation between social marginalization and the likelihood of accusation. Accusations frequently targeted activities traditionally dominated by women, such as childcare, fertility, and domestic tasks like brewing beer or baking bread, or even the health of livestock. When misfortunes occurred in these spheres, like the death of children, infertility, spoiled food, or cows ceasing to give milk, witchcraft was often blamed. The witch hunts in this context functioned as a form of societal scapegoating during periods of mass fear and hysteria, following a pattern where fear plus a trigger equals a scapegoat.
Witchcraft was often a scapegoat.
Oh, yes. What happened to all the animals? Well, maybe don't put all the animals together and they won't get the same disease and all die. No, it's witchcraft.
Don't think like that. Don't think.
Logically, get out of here.
You don't think you're a woman. That logic. You must not think. The convergence of theological misogyny, widespread societal. That sounds like a band. Widespread societal anxieties, example, over illness, crop failures, or unexplained misfortunes, and the targeting of vulnerable women in specific gendered roles reveals witchcraft accusations as a powerful and insidious mechanism of social control. This system effectively reinforced patriarchal norms, punished any perceived deviation from prescribed female roles, and provided a convenient outlet for communal fears and frustrations. The trials were thus as much about maintaining social order and enforcing gender expectations as they were about a genuine belief in supernatural harm. Again, you mustn't think you are a woman. You have role, not think.
Well, it wasn't just women, too. There was a point where men were, if you thought outside of the box being the not pagan. What am I looking for?
Bible.
No, they're pilgrims, but they were like pilgrims, not pagans. And it was right there, not pilgrims. Anyway, the society, like everybody had a role, and if you, even gender roles, down to that, if you strayed outside of your gender role, then you were a target. Woman smoking a pipe. Woman wearing pants. Don't even think about it. No.
A man cooking? Man wears a dress.
A man creating poultices out of herbs. That's crazy. I think that's where we're going to end it.
A man cooking, taking care of their children.
How dare he when his wife cannot do it?
Children must take care of themselves.
Question mostly brought.
Question kind of answered.
Until the next time, whenever that might be.
Yeah.
A production of Wayward Things Network.